Hello, welcome to the Reasonably Effective podcast brought to you by myself, Uncommon Fossil, and 10 Types.
Yep. Hello, everyone.
All right, that's good. Bringing the energy. We got it going on today. A couple little news items before we get to what the main episode is going to be on, and I'm a little unclear on that, I got to say. You told me in Discord a message of 3 words, so it could go a lot of different directions. But anyway, a couple things. One, we know Scarlet and Violet 6. We don't know what it's called yet, but it's coming out in May 24th. So it's only coming out 2 months after Temporal Forces. So these releases are coming closer together once again. So it's also interesting in that Temporal Forces comes out. Then the first weekend I think it's legal is EUIC. Scarlet and Violet 6 comes out, and the first weekend it's legal, I believe, is NAIC. So any thoughts on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, the next set of rotations coming up, and Scarlet and Violet 5, which is Temporal Forces, is coming out.
Right,
in like
March
a
22nd.
Yeah, a little over a month.
Yep.
So that'll be cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Wasi from PTCG Radio, he says he likes it when, as a caster, he likes it when a new set is introduced at a major tournament. It just makes it more interesting, which I think is probably true for all of us would say that. I don't know if some players may or may not like it, but as a spectator potentially and seeing what decks are out there, it's more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. IRL tournaments and online tournaments, right? Tournaments can
Yes.
get like the meta, as we've seen, can get kind of boring. So when there's a new set, there's the potential for it to be not boring. But the one issue is if it's like the set comes out right away,
Yeah.
people might not have the cards or have like played with them at all, so they might just bring the old stuff, which you don't want it to be too soon before that. That's why in IRL tournaments they have this like difference between
right, the physical
like
release date and when they're legal by 2 weeks.
yeah, but then live doesn't do that. So sometimes the
Right.
meta's already figured out or like kind of figured out within 2 weeks. So then it's not actually new anymore.
Right. And with the EUIC, with Temporal Forces, it's pre-rotation, so people also may want to play their the deck that they like that's going to rotate. But first,
Wait, you said that's pre-rotation?
yeah, because that's after Temporal
No, Temporal
Forces.
Forces
Sorry,
is with
it's
rotation.
all post-rotation. So yeah, you're correct. I take that all back. So we'll see lots of buddy popping at least. The one thing though is in Japan and whatever other parts of the world are considered part of the Japan region, cards are legal there for events the day they're released. So
That's
people,
interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, I heard that recently. So when you're looking at the Japanese results, a lot of people don't have access for the first weekend, in particular, of the new cards.
Okay, but I don't know. I think it's fine either way.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know that. So that's just that. So 2 things relating to live because we can't get enough of live. First, Scoop Up Net is now actually banned in live expanded beta. It had been announced that it would be today, this morning of this. This is on February 17. Was the first time I noticed it was banned. The decks with Scoop Up Net are no longer playable. So any thoughts on that passing from you? No.
Wait, what do you mean that passing? Like it
Well,
died? Like
yeah,
Scoop
it's
Net
died. Yeah,
died?
we can't play it
I
anymore.
guess.
We can't play it on live at all now, at all. Right?
That's
There's
true.
no unlimited format.
Yeah,
And
that is
anyway,
true.
I don't mean to be too
I
dark.
think
So
it's fine. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, again, it needed to get banned or errated, but it is what it is. And then server maintenance is coming up. Let me get to the tab on that. I know you're excited. This will come out on Monday. The server maintenance is on Tuesday. It'll be down for 8 hours. We all love that, right? That's always exciting. They're fixing a few cards, nothing huge. Metacham V, an issue when you go on your first turn if you can attack and take the knockout that you can't evolve on the next turn. So that's fine.
Okay, so I think so one thing I know that I didn't actually know that was an issue, but
Yeah.
you could squawk ability twice. You could like squawk ability and do it again. So is that being fixed with it? I think it should be.
It doesn't say it, so I don't know. And I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
that
already
seems like it's the same issue. Like that's the same. It's not counting the turns right, but we'll see.
right. Yeah, so I don't know. So right, because what it says here, fixed an issue where the player going second could not evolve a Pokemon placed in their first turn during the extra turn granted by the Yoga Loop. So I don't know if that is really their second turn. It's a little weird, but I assume, yeah, shouldn't use Squawkability, I'm pretty certain. So hopefully it fixes that too. It seems related. They're fixing the issue with EXP share, where if there was something that made EXP share in an active Pokemon that had it, then it would shut it off on the bench as well. I guess I'm not sure is if there's anything in standard format that does that, but anyway, that's that. And then Lunatone, which is an expanded issue, Glimwood Tangle was getting shut off by the Lunatone's New Moon ability, so they're fixing that. So little things, but I guess easy to fix. They are, as we all want to do, updating the visuals. They're updating the special condition for Confused, because I know that's been bothering you a lot, I'm sure.
Oh wow, I'm so happy that they're doing that instead of fixing the game. I mean, this is just so exciting.
Yeah, that's their priority. And then, as for all Android users out there, for on your phone or your tablet, especially those phones that like to melt away, they are now making it so that if you're running Android 8 or lower, you have to update it. Now that came out, I think, in 2017. I looked it up, and it's no longer.
What do you mean you have to update it?
You won't be able to run live on. You won't be able to install live on a phone with. It has to be at least Android 9 or newer to
Oh, so
install
this is
it.
actually a downgrade.
It
Like
is.
they're
It is. But look, what I'll say first, and most people that don't run a higher operating systems because they don't have a device that does it, so I understand the difficulty. But Android 8 is no longer supported by the company, and they're not doing security updates anyway. So they don't need to spend resources if it causes complications to make live work on things that aren't supported.
yeah, okay. So I mean that's fine, but that also means
It-
before the podcast you said that they're updating
Android,
Android like live on
yeah.
Android or something, which
Well,
is like true. I mean they're like taking it away.
they're reducing it, but
It
look,
doesn't really matter. I mean I think it's fine what they're doing.
yeah.
But it's nothing
It's
that
not going to
impressive.
help anybody. It may hurt some people, but it's probably a good move if they were trying to address that. That's good, and they fixed a couple issues with Quest where they weren't working right. So anyway, and that's it. So not much happening. I think they're turning. They have to do server maintenance, and they probably said, "Hey, anybody else have anything to do?" So just some little stuff, nothing of consequence, and they're not obviously fixing anything to address the people can't log in. It appears, and they're not fixing those issues where you can't select your cards, which is definitely a game breaking problem, right? I play my Battle VIP Pass turn 1. I can't select my Squawkabilly EX, and you just kind of want to concede at that point.
Yeah, especially there are some decks that like really heavily depend on it, so that's kind of annoying.
Yeah,
I hope Live will get better. We talked about Live a lot last week as
right.
well. So if you want to learn more about that, and I'm also live streaming right now.
Yeah.
So if anyone is listening and is like, oh, I want to learn more about that, last podcast episode we talked about that a lot in depth.
Correct. And I have upcoming after this podcast gets released a video where I look at Magic the Gathering Arena, saying, "Hey, what if Pokemon decides to monetize to make the game better? What's the good and the bad?" Just looking at Arena, because there are good things with Arena and there's bad things as a result as well. But
Yeah.
you gotta. It's really tough if you don't want to spend money in Arena, is what I'll say. But anyway, that's it for the random items I have. You want to take us in? You sent me in a Discord message. I think it said, YouTube TCG YouTubers. So that's
Pokemon YouTubers,
Yes, I
not
apologize.
YouTube TCG.
Yes. Oh, one other thing. I did try, because I talked about live last week, inspired to try out the other big game out there, right? There's Pokemon, there's Magic, which is actually the original, right? There's Magic, then Pokemon, and
Then
then
there's chess.
and then the third game, which I've never played, and that's Yu-Gi-Oh. Again, it came out, I think, a little bit after Pokemon, but those are kind of the big three that all came out early. And so I tried Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, and they trying to get the Pokemon experience. I got in a little bit, and I did the initial tutorial. And graphic-wise, it's not much. It's not much better than it's not much better than Live or PTCGO. I got to say, it's well short of Arena. And then the other thing is, after I did that, it wanted to do an update, and now it won't download the update, and I can't log into it. So it's going for the live experience. I cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So
That is interesting. That is I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse, but
so
it's a thing.
Pokemon's not alone in this issue. But anyway, that anyway. So why don't you take us into the Pokemon TCG YouTubers?
Yeah. So the reason I want to talk about that, well, I've wanted to talk about this for a little while. So obviously, Uncommon Fossil and I are both like YouTubers.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, would you describe yourself as like a YouTuber or
Well,
not?
you mean in life in general?
No. If someone asked you, "Are you a YouTuber?" Would you say yes? Not like as a job, but like, or I don't
Yeah,
know.
I,
Yeah.
I do. I'm going to upload videos every day, so I think yes. And there's enough subscribers that there's some level of interest and such. So yes, I think I would.
And I think I would. So I think we mentioned this last time, but for those of you who don't know, Uncommon Fossil is my father. So, and I started Pokemon before you.
Yep.
Um, I think that's a common story, right? A child gets their parent into Pokemon, with like Poke
Yep.
parents and stuff. You're not necessarily a Poke parent, I wouldn't say. Or would you say that? I need to stop saying things on your behalf.
Well, typically, Poke Parent means someone that follows that kind of supports their child competitively and kind of does some playing because of that. But I'm a Poke Parent in that I was unaware of Pokemon when it came out, so have gotten into it because of you. So it depends on what you
I
mean
was
by it.
also unaware of it when it came out.
Well, you did.
I was unaware when it came out.
Yes, you didn't exist back then, whereas I was a working professional, working probably 50 hours a week, dating your future mother. So Pokemon was not on my mind.
You're missing out. You could be like a millionaire right
I
now.
could have bought like a whole set
I
of
could be
like
rich from
I
you if
yes, I could
you
have
had bought
bought
base.
copies, boxes of base set that I could have in storage. Growing in value every day.
Yeah, but you didn't. So
No.
instead, we're here, and so we are talking about YouTube and Pokemon YouTube and all that good stuff
Yep.
because it's interesting, and neither of us make any money off of YouTube. We're both getting close. We're pretty. I think. Oh, and to get us closer, subscribe, right?
Right.
Um,
And well,
to
and
our
if you
YouTube
don't
channels.
know, yeah, please subscribe. We do appreciate it. It's very encouraging. I think for myself, and I'm sure it is for
Yeah.
10 types as well. But then the magic number is 1,000 subscribers to get money from the ads, right? YouTube runs ads anyway. They get all the money right now. So the idea is once we hit that level, we can get a piece of that ad money.
Yeah. And so that's like cool. That'll probably happen soon. But for now, I wanted to take a look at other YouTubers
Yep.
and Pokemon YouTubers and not Pokemon YouTubers as well.
Okay.
But again, the generational gap thing, you did not obviously grow up with YouTube, and
Correct.
I did.
Yep.
So that also means that this conversation might be a little difficult. Is we don't know. We don't know the same. Well, you don't know as many YouTubers as I do, right?
No, and we've talked about this in just private conversation time, but we also approach YouTube differently, which may come out. I mean, I grew up in the age of TV. That was the way y- entertainment was primarily accessed, and I still kind of see it that way, or more streaming on the tablet or whatever. But similar to that. But I've viewed YouTube as a place for information. I will do watch Pokemon YouTubers, but that's about it for general YouTube watching. Then I watch things like I need to repair a dishwasher, and I watch the YouTube video about that. That's kind of what YouTube is to me.
Yeah, and to me, I will just Google it, right? I won't watch YouTube. I mean, I could, but I'd rather just like find a very simple explanation and
Yeah,
not a YouTube video.
some
Because
things are better
YouTube
in
videos tend to
videos,
be
though.
drawn out, in my experience. Um,
But we're the exception to that, though.
yeah, we're always straight to the point. No, but like I want to see. Um, I don't know. Like sometimes I want like a pronunciation video. I've looked those up,
Hmm.
and they're like a minute or two, and it's like, but they just say one word. I mean. Like, it doesn't
Right.
need to be that long. You don't need 30 seconds of silence. You say the word, like just say it. And anyway, um,
Yeah. Well, I
but
agree. I don't like I like things concise and quick, which is text is better than videos generally. But so there are other things where seeing it done is an advantage.
oh yeah, definitely. With like as you said, like repairing
Yeah.
something physical, that could be very useful. And so yeah, I do see value in like watching YouTube videos for education. Um, like if you need to look up how to do
Hmm.
something or whatever. But then I approach it as entertainment. I don't
Yeah.
really watch TV. Um, I have, but it's YouTube is more convenient, and I was gonna say there's more YouTube videos than TV shows. I don't know if that's true.
It-
It like seems true. They're both really big numbers though.
right. I
So
imagine that there is more YouTube videos. The quality of a lot of YouTube videos is probably on the low side, though.
yeah, there are a lot of pretty terrible videos. And one thing I want to say before we get into things too much, well, actually, okay, I'll ask you this first. How good do you think your videos are?
Wow. Okay, so part of this is going to get, I imagine, into your discussion of Pokemon YouTube versus YouTube in general, right? And that Pokemon is on the small side and the low side. So
Yeah, and one thing I want to say when we're talking about Pokemon YouTube, you're primarily, I'm assuming, you're talking about Pokemon TCG YouTube, where people
yes,
actually play the game or talk about playing the game, as opposed to pretty much the TCG and not collectors. That's what we're
correct.
talking
Not
about.
collectors and also not video gamers, Pokemon video gamers, which
Yeah,
is bigger, and not Pokemon, other Pokemon stuff, right? So it's, yeah, Pokemon TCG gameplay is the focus. So I think I'm in line with where a lot of videos are, and I think my video, I don't do much.
what's that supposed to mean? That's like
My quality and such is I'm okay, is what I'll say. I'm not the best speaker out there. I'm not the most entertaining person out there. And sometimes I get surprised that there's anybody that wants to pay attention to me. Um, but I think I'm okay.
that was incredibly unhelpful. But
I
yeah, I'd say I'm kind of bad. So I don't really edit my videos very much,
yeah,
and they're not super exciting because I think you edit yours a little, but you don't edit them much. I edit
no.
mine essentially not at all. I don't know if I'm a better speaker or more interesting
Hmm.
than you or not. Um, you kind of approach it a little differently, but not like that differently. I'd say our content's pretty similar, and so I like more, I guess, exciting
Hmm.
content as opposed to, but it sometimes will lack depth or be kind of less useful as well. Versus you wanna like I don't know, like all of my videos, I like I will like exaggerate myself sometimes in my videos, and like if you meet me in real life, I'm kind of
Hmm.
like this, but I'm more like reserved. Um, Especially if I'm like not talking about Pokemon. But then online I like to, I guess I'd say I'm more outgoing. That's kind of a weird way to say it. I don't know if that makes is quite right, but that's how I am.
Yeah. I actually think that's common for YouTubers, the ones that I know have
Yeah, no, I
talked about
definitely
it,
I've seen.
right? Because you take on a persona when you do YouTube. It should be grounded in who you are. I think it is for both of us, but it's you have a freedom of expression when you're doing this, and that's part of the enjoyment of it. Plus, we're talking about something we like, so that's a good thing. I talking on YouTube, yeah, for the videos I like more content versus over entertainment. I think of it that ratio of content versus entertainment, and to me, a channel like OmniPoke is kind of in my sweet spot. You get those one or two subtle jokes that you don't think are jokes at all that they make, and then you get a lot of charts
What's
with
that supposed to
OmniPoke.
mean?
Oh, he's
What,
got
jokes that aren't jokes?
well,
Like,
they're subtle jokes, dry and jokes. And you accuse them of being just insider jokes, which some of them are, right? But some of them are they're just quiet jokes that aren't a big deal. They're just made, and you move on past it, right? Not a big joke that everyone has to stand up and notice. And a couple
yeah,
of those over a 30-minute video, and that's enough entertainment for me. And then you get a lot of content there, right? I think at OmniPoke, you would not accuse them of being shy on content.
if you mean content as in, well,
Information,
yeah, that's
information.
yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
In the type of channels I don't like is those that, which is particularly true of people that take their streams and just upload them as videos. And we might talk about that. I think that's pretty, to me, not good. Where they sit there and they talk about what they had at Taco Bell and what their favorite, you like Baja Blast better than something else, right? I just don't need that in my life. I gotta say.
yeah. So this is interesting, and this kind of gets to Pokemon content. And
Hmm.
with Pokemon content and why. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't think, or I don't know. We're gonna talk about this, but Pokemon TCG is it's obviously successful, but people don't play the game like that much compared to other things. Well, like, compared to collectors or to video game players, and
Yes.
so it's less popular on YouTube. Part of that I think is because it's and sometimes less exciting because on your opponent's turn, you can't just cut your opponent's turn out of the game. I don't think. I
Hmm.
don't know if I've seen people do that, but it's not very common because then it becomes kind of confusing to watch, right? You don't really know what's going on.
Right.
But it's also not that exciting. Like you can kind of talk about what they're doing, but it's not the most exciting thing. You're just kind of saying what's happening. Or you could the other option is to talk about something semi-related or unrelated. Like in your videos, what do you talk about during your opponent's turn?
Some comments on what they're doing. I try not to comment on. Well, I don't know why they did that play, but sometimes that comes up. You see when I have Snorlax in the active, and they bench down their Radiant Greninja that can't attack. And I go like, okay, thank you for that. I'll
Yeah.
win
Oh,
this
I want to
game.
say this. One time I was this happened the other day. My opponent this was like an awful play. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna pretend this wasn't an awful play by them. So I was playing Snorlax Control, and I know it can be annoying, but
Yeah.
um so they had and I had like some Rotom V or something on the bench that wasn't Snorlax, so they gusted
Right.
it up.
Yep.
Um but then and then they I don't remember exactly what happened, but they like retreated out of their attacker into their Pokemon that like couldn't attack. Um, which is like I think they switched it in and then like retreated it back out or something, and then they passed.
Okay.
So then I just retreated my Rotom, or like switched it out, and then they were stuck again because they I didn't even need to gust because they put the Pokemon back.
Yeah.
But
That you
okay,
wanted
so I
there.
don't. Yeah, like I don't know what that was. So that was a play. But yeah, so anyway, I got that doesn't matter for this discussion.
No, no, it doesn't. It happens right now. The ladder is going to get reset soon, so my elo stays low, and I think yours does too. So you get the better players have moved past us as we play random decks. So is part of it. But and then the
And
other,
I also don't like grind a ton. I play like maybe a few games a day.
yeah, and I play a lot of random decks. So I lose, have big losing streaks as I'm working on stuff. But and then I will talk about what I'm thinking about doing, obviously, during my opponent's play, because that's kind of what I'm thinking about in a game. And then the other thing is what I my thoughts were the previous turns, because a lot of times I don't discuss all the thoughts that are running through my head on my decisions, and if I realize, oh, there's more to why I did what I did, or what I could have done instead, and I'll talk about that and say, hey, I could have done this. Maybe it was the better play. So that's what I'll do during my opponent's turn.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I do, and I think that's what other YouTubers do as well.
Yeah.
Um, in streaming, like we're live streaming, um, but we're not. I'm not like talking to chat. Although I will address in chat. Someone asked a link to your Uncommon Fossil, your YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@Uncommon Fossil. I can't actually put it in chat right now because of the way my setup is.
Okay. So
Um,
it's uncommon fossil with one M.
one yeah.
So yeah.
And so anyway, but yeah. So sometimes people are like talking to chat, which is fine, but it kind of
Right.
makes it makes the video a little weird. It can be done well, I think, but it's usually not. It's usually just like there. So that's interesting, and I think we both agree. Just slapping stream video, like a live stream, into a YouTube video isn't a good YouTube video.
No, and for like the bigger YouTubers that have their edited video channel and then some of the streams they upload on a secondary channel, I think that's fine, right? Then you know what you're getting, but you can get the more finished videos as well.
Yeah, and I've done that a few times, so I kind of feel like bad about it. Like I do it if I don't have other content. And at the end of the day, live streaming is like a thing. Um, but it's not the same as like a regular video. Anyway, so
Hmm.
you said you had like a list of some channels you wanted to talk about, right?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, when you sent this, I took a look at like the YouTube channels I subscribe to, which ones my audience watches. It gives me that. So
Oh,
yeah,
and actually, let's compare two lists, the 15. So
yeah.
for those of you who don't know, which I imagine actually most of you, YouTube, there's a thing called YouTube Studio, which is a YouTube analytics app. It's kind of the same as YouTube, but it's slightly different.
Hmm.
Um, and that YouTube creators have, and you can see like stuff. So you
You
can
can
see
see
like
stuff.
what
Wow.
you can see a bunch of like data about YouTube. it's in about your channel, and one of
Yeah.
the things is 15 channels.
Hmm.
There's also 15 videos, but 15 channels
Right.
that your audience watches. Is it the last period, which would be 28 days? Is that what
I
it
believe
is?
it's 28 days. Yes. Um,
So, I want to see what our audience, what you, the listeners, are watching, and also comment down below if you actually like watch these people, because I don't know how accurate it is. I think it's accurate, and it makes sense, but I want
ye-
to see
mhm.
the compare lists.
Right. I mean, most of these are logical, and our channels are a little different too. If we look, it also tells you top searches. The better top searches are very different. For
The top searches are, well, there's some different things, but there's like a research tab, but that's really terrible in my experience. Like, it's just a bunch of random. Like, it's not. I don't know. And anyway,
anyway,
so
so number one channel, Little Dark Fury,
yeah, that's the same for me.
and my channel's kind of in that vein. I would say more so than your channel, even. I think I do a lot of
Yeah, no, that's true. My
random
channel's not
decks.
necessarily that much like his.
And I will say this: it gives a list of 15 videos that people have watched the last 28 days. I think it is, and 7 of those 15 are from Little Dark Fury's channel. Um,
Oh, videos. I thought you were gonna say the channels. 7 of the
no,
15 are his
no, the
channels.
videos. So he's like a big number one on that list, I suspect. Number two for me is Azul GG.
Yep.
The number two for you too. Number
Yeah.
three, and that's only got one video of the 15. For the win is number three.
Okay, he's 4 for me.
Okay, and 3 videos for him. And then 4 for me is Little Dark Fury's second channel, LDF
Yeah, yeah.
PTCG.
So that's yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3rd for me.
Okay, so Trust Your Pilots 5
Oh wow, he's higher. He for you.
for
He's
me.
a little lower on me, like 7 or something.
Okay, I mean I'm doing more. I talk about live and live economy too, and
Yeah,
he's big
definitely.
on live.
And then
So
feet. No, you don't.
I don't talk about feet. I thought about mentioning feet once or twice, and then I was like, no, I don't want to go down that route. So um, anyway, so 6 Tricky Jim.
Yeah, he's up there for me as well.
Okay, 7 my boy or boys Omnipoke.
Yep, yep, they're up there.
8 Sneaker Talk TCG, which I was not aware of honestly before looking at this list.
Yeah. Yeah, he's up there.
So I got to pay attention to him. I should, I should at least have an idea of what these people are doing, and may have stuff I want. Celio's Network is 9. Is he even on your
Yep.
list? He is.
Yeah. No, he's up there. Our
Okay,
lists have been essentially the same so far. A
uh,
few switched around, but pretty much the
close.
same.
A Popsicle Night at 10.
I just closed it. I think they're there. I don't know.
Okay,
Um.
shall I just keep going
Oh no,
then?
they're not. Yeah. Just say them. Just say them.
Zapdos TCG, Azul's second channel, the
Hmm.
Shuffle Squad, which is from
Zach
Zach
Lesage.
Lesage, kind of but people still watch
Yeah, that
it.
was a weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah, in third person, and then
Hmm.
PTCG Radio is down at
Okay.
15.
So I had one different channel. I did not have Popsicle Night, though I've seen him on my list.
Yeah.
I have the Uncommon Energy podcast, the second best uncommon podcast.
Yes.
Actually, no, they're the third. No, I don't know. But so yeah, no, that's on, which is Azul and Trainer Chip, who does not make videos, on his own, I believe.
Right. He
He
still
doesn't
has
make
his
many.
channel, but he hasn't uploaded. Which I was looking. He hasn't uploaded video in a long time. I don't think so.
Yeah, I did a Social Blade Social Blade, for those of you who don't, did you reference Social Blade yet or not? I don't think you did on
Not
video.
not not. No. No.
Okay,
We
so
haven't
the
talked
Social
about it.
Blade is a website that has like YouTube analytics. It's
Yep.
weird, but it's fine, and it has some like interesting and there's a ranking of every YouTuber.
Hmm.
And I did a video that like showed all of them. And
Right.
Trainer Shift just got like was like a whole like grade and a half below everyone else, because I don't know why. I mean, he doesn't upload, which is true, but like anyway. So, but yeah, he doesn't upload. Um,
Right.
and so they have a podcast. They actually have a second channel for that podcast as
Oh,
well. Or
really?
some other channel. Well, there's some other channel
Oh, but
called might be called Uncommon Energy. I don't know. Um, but it's like not a podcast. I'm not really sure. Anyway,
okay.
um, so one thing. So Sneaker Talk, you said you didn't know. So Sneaker Talk TCG is like a collecting channel, right?
Um, Sneaker Talk. Wait, hang on. That
Yeah.
was the one on my. No, no. He's a player, right? He's a
Well, he
competitive
is a
player.
player, but it's a collecting
I think he
channel. That's
talks
why
about decks too, though, and I talk about
some. But
gameplay.
he's so you think Frosted Caribou. So Frosted Caribou is a pretty big YouTuber. She has
Hmm.
over 100,000 subscribers, not a million. So she's pretty
Yeah.
successful for a TCG
Hmm.
player. But she also does mostly collecting, and that's the same thing with Sneaker Talk. Not exactly the same. Um,
I think he talks. I think he has tournament vlogs too, if I remember.
yeah, no, I think there's some but I think
So
it's the same variety of content,
yeah, I
a
mean,
similar variety of content as Frosty Caribou, except there's just more of it
it,
because
it could
he
be.
actually
It's
posts.
someone I wasn't aware of. I think his biggest video, which is a recent one, is he got a booster box at an event as a prize, and then it's the opening of the booster box he received. So I mean,
Yeah, which is a collecting video, right? It's
yes.
um
No, that's anyway. Hopefully, my screen went blank. I got to move the mouse. I'm not in live today, so I got to remember that. But it is obviously a little bit play related because I don't know. So yes. Anyway, yeah, collecting we don't talk about. We don't consider that, but obviously collecting is bigger, right?
yeah, no, it is bigger. It's just I don't know. It's not it's not the thing that I'd consider. I would not say that Sneaker Talk TCG and I are in the same category of
um,
YouTuber. That's what I'd say.
y-
Because
yeah.
he's not I mean he is a player, right? He's
Hmm.
he's good, I guess, but
I think he
in
talks
terms of
about
being
decks and stuff too. The meta some,
I
I
think
think.
but I don't know. I think you can do it some, but I don't think he's
Okay, I mean that's fair. I mean, not everybody, how do you classify things is always tricky. So the biggest Pokemon TCG channel has on Social Blade has a grade of B plus. It goes up to A plus plus, I think, or maybe higher than that. So, and they have over 5 million subscribers, and
yeah,
they're
you
ranked
told me this. I have no
20,000.
idea who this
And so, and it's not a
is.
person. It's the official Pokemon channel.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
So you say,
I was
but
yeah.
obviously they talk about the TCG there. They
Well,
upload
yeah, but that's,
gameplay.
different. I
I
mean,
know.
they're,
So
super rich, so it's, different.
it is.
I wanna
So
see I assume I don't actually, I was gonna say Mr. Beast is the highest channel on Social Blade, but he might not. He's A++.
he's 11th,
He's
but he's the only
11th.
one. He's the first one that I know is an individual though, right? The first one is
Okay,
that
where's the list? Oh,
uh top 50,
top 50 YouTubers.
right? So you can click that, and there's
Yeah,
also
there's
like
some sketchy channels on here, I will say. No, I don't know, in my opinion. Oh, here it says he's A+. But, yeah, he also some of you might not know this. He's closest to becoming the most subscribed channel. He's 2 million or 20 million away from T Series, which is I thought T Series was much higher than that.
hmm,
Not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, and most of these are um not individuals.
right.
Yeah,
He's the first one that I know was an individual. There, like I said, he was 11th. The top 10. Some of them I know are not individuals.
yeah.
Um,
Most of these are companies. They might all be. I mean, Mr. Beast is kind of like a company as well. Like once you become big
right.
enough, you kind of become a company.
Yes.
But one of these is Sony. So
Right, which is no way to. Just for context, he's got 239 million subscribers, and he had a bad month for subscribers in the last 30 days. He only got 7 million new subscribers, and that's down 46% than previously. So,
yeah.
um,
And so yeah,
which obliterates
he's
anything
slacking. He's
Pokemon,
slacking.
right? Because
Um,
the top two Pokemon channels, just to get to, I would say, one is PTCG Radio, which is it's gameplay.
arguably not a arguably not as well, right?
Right, it's gameplay related. Obviously, he talks about the cards. Obviously, collectors pay attention to him too, which is why he's got the most subs of any of these channels. He's got over 136,000. So he's done well, right? It wasn't within the last year or something he broke 100,000. I don't remember. So
Yeah, I think something like that.
so he's still growing very well. He's got a B minus grade, and Mr. Beast was an A plus or A plus plus. So, and his Social Blade rank is 490,000th. So
I mean,
just
at the end of the day, it's it doesn't matter that much,
right, but
but
that means there's a lot of bigger channels, and then the highest Social Blade ranked channel is actually not him. It's actually Little Dark Fury, who only
okay.
has 55,000 subs, which obviously is huge for us. So don't take that as a put down. But he's actually ahead of PTCG Radio for Social Blade, which I think he's a B grade. So he's the highest channel. That's definitely a Pokemon TCG channel, a B grade. So up there but it's at 456,000. So there's obviously in the realm of YouTube, which is something you like to talk about, isn't that big a deal, right? Big in terms of Pokemon, obviously, not big in terms of
Yeah,
YouTube.
And then I think we need to talk about Tricky Jim, right?
Yep,
So I want to say I don't know. I like PCG Radio, but I wouldn't necessarily consider him, as you said, he's not necessarily the same like category as Little Dark Fury or these other YouTubers that we're
correct.
going to talk about.
Yeah,
But so Tricky Jim, very big channel
right.
with
Oh,
112 or thousand.
yep, right. The only other channel with over 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. And I believe he actually reached 100K at a very similar time to PCG Radio. So
He
I'm
was
going to
he was
critique.
after. He was after.
He was after. Okay,
Yeah,
I think it was close though.
I
Do
don't
you have it
remember.
pulled up?
Um, no, well, I have the Social Blade page. I don't know if it shows that on it.
Okay. And
So
anyway,
anyway,
so
go ahead.
I'm going to critique Andrew Mahone now. I know there's some people that are big fans of him, and I'm a big fan of him too. But I also think, I mean, his growth isn't. So he obviously reached 100,000, right? He's over that, but once he
Right.
reached it, it seemed like his content slowed down. I think it's picked back up, which is nice.
Well, yeah.
Um, but it's like not a ton. He's in the last 2 weeks, he's released 3 or 4 videos.
Hmm.
Um, and some of these aren't like high. So I'm looking at these videos. Some of these are like over an hour long. Who would release videos like that? That's like crazy.
Right.
Um,
We'd never do something like that, right?
but quite frankly, those are not generally good videos, right? They are generally not edited, right? And so they're like podcasts, which quite frankly, podcasts aren't the best YouTube videos, and I think we know that. Um,
Right, right. Some of his videos are of the people. He's more inclined to just do a stream video. Some things he also does IRL play, right? Which I don't. You and I necessarily don't like, but he likes
yeah,
IRL play. And by that I mean in person gameplay, even for casual gameplay, right? At an actual table with cards. So,
yeah, and I think the issue with that on YouTube, right? I think it's perfectly
hmm,
fine to play that way,
yeah,
but with YouTube, it doesn't like look as good. Live doesn't look that good either. Um, I'd be more critiquing more if live was like really good, right? But then I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, he does like live videos as well because quite frankly, they do better on YouTube than IRL tabletop gameplay. IRL tabletop gameplay does not do as well
right.
as live gameplay, and it's much harder to do as well.
Yeah, look, it's harder to watch and stuff to see the cards. It's obviously very easy to follow along on the YouTube screen when someone's playing live. You know, even though live doesn't look great now, it's easy to see what the cards are and what's happening.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I look PTCG. Look, live needs to get better, obviously, but look, he has grown. He got 30 another 1,000 subscribers in the last 30 days, which is obviously bigger than your my channel. So let's
Yeah, how much did PCG Radio? I wanna.
that one says none actually.
Okay, well that seems wrong.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean,
He's had 136,000
his
subscribers
results.
for the last month. It says here, or is the last whatever days.
I think his channel is glitchy. Yeah, like if you look at his total subscribers weekly as well. I don't know. Social Blade isn't the most reliable thing.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of like um yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Social Blade. Um, but okay, maybe Tricky Jim is growing faster than I thought. But anyway,
Well,
but
PTCG
obviously,
Radio seems to be growing about 2,000 subscribers a month lately, whereas Tricky Jim is close to 1,000 subscribers a month. Looking at
okay,
the graphs.
yeah. So and that's a big difference, right?
Yeah,
Like
considering the channels aren't that far apart in size, yeah, the one's growing a lot more.
and then also, yeah, I don't know. But I think Andrew Mahomes obviously done like he's built something good, but as
Yeah.
he has built something that is, in my opinion, not amazing. Like it's really cool, and like I'd love to be in his place, making like full time YouTube and all that good stuff.
Right.
Um, but he also I don't know. He's also not necessarily like, in my opinion, he's not innovating in the YouTube scene, which is like the big thing, which is kind of a weird thing. But um, he's not necessarily pushing new types of content.
Well, okay. I mean, in terms of big Pokemon TCG content creators, you have Tricky Jim and Little Dark Fury, right? They're the two big ones, I would say. Is
Uh,
that
uh,
fair to say?
yeah. And so we're not saying PCG radio, right?
Not counting them, right? And then
Yeah.
Azul's pretty big too. Um,
Yeah, there's some other ones. There are other ones up there. So there's some others I want to talk about. But so yeah, those are the two big ones, right? Those are in two aspects. They're arguably the two biggest.
Right.
And I'd say Little Dark Fury is pushing the envelope, not at all. I don't think his channel's bad,
Well,
but I don't think he's pushing the envelope at all because he's just making. Well, actually, okay, I want to look.
yeah, I mean he's first obviously part of it is a personality, right? Like Andrew Mahone has a personality that's very likable. Oh, he stole my cast form video. Look at that.
No, you might have more views
And
than
he's
him
got more
though.
views than me. No, he
Does
does.
he?
In a
You sure?
day. Well, let's see, he has 9,000 views. Maybe I have more. I don't know. It was an absurdly popular video.
Yeah, yours that was your most popular video. It's more popular than my most popular video. Yeah, yours is more. It says that in one place. It'll
Okay.
probably pass yours, but it might
Yeah.
not. There's a chance it does. Anyway, um, this is like the same.
He makes
Like,
videos. See, this is where like my font is maybe the same or similar to his. I just go,
yeah,
yeah,
you definitely emulate him, right?
I do.
And
I
that's
just don't put my
you
face
know your
out there
face.
because I'm
I
not
know
I don't have the style that he has, so I can't pull it
you're not
off.
stunningly attractive like Lil Dick Fury.
Yeah, he's got look, he's
No,
got a
anyways,
unique look, but it's the face that's only ever so slightly different from
yeah,
one to one. It's a little odd, but I know it is what it is.
it gets the views. I mean, it gets the
It
views, right?
does, right?
So, Lil Dick Fury, like I just look. This is just like deck after deck after deck, and he's just playing. I'm assuming he's just playing live. I'm gonna kind of hover over these. It looks like
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
playing
He
live in all
plays
these videos.
live, and obviously, like you said, live. He benefits from that over, I think, Tricky Jim, right? With Andrew Mahone, Andrew Mahone dislikes live a lot. I don't know if a little Doc Fury does or not, but he's quiet about it if he does.
Yeah, I mean, I know he liked PTCGO. I think he doesn't like live because it doesn't. I know he loved it. I think
Right.
he doesn't like the fact that live is
Some.
missing some of the features of PTCGO. But aside from that, I think he likes that as a way to play
Yeah.
online.
Yeah, and he does IRL play as well. I don't know to what extent exactly, but he does that too. As does Andrew Mahone. Andrew Mahone has more hats, right? Because he's involved with the business too, although at the promotional side. But he's probably has some other things he does because of that.
Wait for what? Sorry, I missed.
Andrew Mahone with Full Grip Games, right? Because
Oh yeah, yeah. I just heard Andrew Mahone more hats, and I was like, that checks out.
he wears more hats. He probably has more hats in his closet, although I could be wrong. I could be
Yeah, no,
wrong.
I predict it. And anyway, so Tricky Jim's content,
Hmm.
then we have and we have All Out Blitz on chat. We're gonna talk about All Out Blitzel.
Yeah,
Because
he's
I want to,
yeah. Where's
but
he on the list? I gotta look. Yeah, because he's doing
I
well.
will I need to make sure I don't insult him too much. No,
See,
so
and he's better than us. Look, we're both C plus ratings, so we're
yeah, he has more
passing.
subscribers than I hit 200 at the same time as him. I remember
Okay,
that.
and he's a
Except
B
his channel was
minus.
like his channel was like a few months old, and mine was like a few years old.
Right,
So
you're at 920
anyway,
subs. He's approaching 3,000. So
yeah.
yep,
But
doing well.
so
And
Andrew Mahone's content is like fine.
yeah,
But he doesn't really push the envelope much. He does. You
well,
see,
it
he does some pack
depends.
opening stuff. He does.
He
Well, okay. Tell me.
Well, he's the innovator, I believe, for the
Uh,
whole tabletop setup, right? With multiple cameras. And I think he set things up where he can use his feet or his knees to adjust the cameras when he's doing pack
that's Trust Your
openings.
Pilot.
No, I
No,
think
no, I was
tricky.
saying that
Oh, the feet part.
the
Yeah.
feet. That's the feet part.
No, right.
Um,
Because he's doing cards open with his hands and he wants to be able to shift, I think, have the camera go from his face to the card, right? You switch cameras, I guess. So he has to have some foot controls because he's doing it
yeah,
by
but that's
himself.
kind of like, why do you need to? That to me, that's weird. Like that doesn't make any sense. Because couldn't you just do that in editing? Like couldn't you just record both and then like
Um,
edit it?
he's probably
Just for
streaming as
live stream.
well.
Yeah.
I don't,
So I was
and
thinking,
also how much time do you want to put into editing, right? Like I don't know, because I think for a long time I think he edited his own videos. He still may like to. I don't know. As you get to big channel, you can hire an editor. Although honestly, I was looking at Little Dark Fury, who's the biggest channel in terms of money, and they estimate he's made between the last 30 days $123 and $2,000.
okay, I think those numbers are wrong. I believe Lil Dick Fury is a full-time YouTuber. Um, I don't mean to insult. Never mind. But I don't think he's like making tons of money, but I think he's like kind of getting by. Like 2000, 2000 a month is not a lot.
Depending, right? I mean, but then he also has sponsors and stuff. So I don't know if
That's
sponsors aren't
true.
bigger. And also, I think the streaming with what's this
Twitch.
with Twitch, that actually may be I don't know how all these things play together with the in
That's
terms
true.
of if one wants to make money off of it.
Yeah, I think Streamlabs. I know that doesn't seem like a lot of money, right? And I know you don't make a ton, but I think it. I thought it was like I was looking because I'm like close to getting monetized.
Hmm.
And it was I don't know. I think it's like a cent per view, which is not like a ton, but that would be more than
Right. See,
whatever that is.
Tricky Jim's
I could
only
be wrong.
getting $40 to $637 in the last 30 days.
Yeah, which like that can't be right,
I,
right? Like
although I wonder if he's putting less ads in. Right. One of the things is you have a choice of how many ads, and maybe he has less ads because it's promoting the store and stuff in other
yeah,
money streams. I don't know. Anyway, the money's not. But even let's say he's getting 2,000, it's not huge money considering how big he is. Right. In terms of Pokemon World, he's huge.
Little Dark Fury,
Little
right?
Dark Fury,
Or
right?
either of them.
They both are, right? And obviously both are putting a ton of time into it. I would say also.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Uh,
I've just digressed a lot. Do you want to bring us back to something?
I don't remember where we were, but so I definitely think that like they're not that big. That's kind of what we're saying. But so I think it. But I'm interested in the potential to like grow because,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I'd be happy if I had 100,000 subscribers. I'd be very happy about that
Right.
for now.
Yes.
But honestly, if I was at it, I wouldn't want to stay at it. And right now it seems like the cap is like it seems like Andrew Mahone is near his cap. Um,
Yeah. I
and
mean, we'll
then
grow some, but right. I mean, these YouTube in terms of the Social Blade ranking, which isn't everything, but the top people are all like Little Dark Fury is the top, and he's at 456,000th of YouTubers. And obviously, there's a lot of YouTubers, but that means in terms of money, there's obviously most channels that we know that generally are making way more than his is. I think it's fair to say.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I guess. But and anyway, so
All right, go
uh,
ahead.
I think what was I? Where was I going with this? I forget. Oh,
Growing
so
YouTube.
innovating YouTube, yeah, or innovating content. So I don't think he does have his IRL like Andrew Mahone has his IRL stuff, which
Right.
is fine. I don't think it's drastically innovative though. It's honestly just like another medium to do the same type of content, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm not doing it live on live. I'm doing it physically, which is fine. And then he has set reviews. He of course has his GLC stuff, but that just like
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But so I forgot. I was gonna so recently Andrew Mahone made a video called the official introduction to Gym Leader Challenge, a
Yes.
Pokemon TCG format, which is kind of weird. I mean, I guess I kind of know why he did it. Actually, I don't. But what he did, but it's interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
it's animated by like a YouTuber or by someone else called Pig Sheffer. It's really interesting.
Okay.
Um, and so that's cool because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting. I like the animation style. It's kind of weird. It's like narrated by Andrew Mahone, but it's animated by
Mm-hmm.
someone else, which to me gives it a weird vibe. Like, I feel like the person animating it should be the person speaking. They don't have to be, but it feels a little weird.
Okay.
But maybe it's not. Anyway, but that's interesting, and that's like a way of like innovating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it necessarily fits his channel.
No, well, I mean, obviously look. I mean, for in terms of innovation, Gym Leader Challenge is what he would say is probably his biggest innovation for the Pokemon TCG, right?
Yes.
And I think that's a fair point. Now, that's doesn't correlate directly to YouTube, right? But so having an animated video to introduce it that has long term value for him because obviously it's an expensive thing to do, I assume.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think it's really cool. I think the weird thing, it's not like all animated. Right? It's like kind of animated, which is
okay.
interesting. I don't know. I feel like it should be either all animated or like not animated, but the video is cool. But then,
Hmm.
let's see. What else? So I think I'll talk about all of Whistle now. I feel like so I sent you a link to a tournament, right?
Yes.
So
Well,
can you like look?
hang on a second. Let me just talk innovation for a second first. I want to get to this link, but I not everybody wants to innovate, right? Obviously, the innovators lead to the next big thing. But I think for myself, and this is partly where we approach the content creation a little different. You would like to innovate, I think. You would like to make YouTube bigger. I mean, Pokemon bigger than it is, and I mean, I'd
Yeah,
like to grow the
specifically
community.
on the YouTube scene.
Right.
Uh,
Whereas I'm happy to have a place within the YouTube scene and provide some value to the community, which I think I do, and through that it'll grow the scene and the community a little bit. But I'm kind of happy to be in that spot. Whereas I think you want something more than that.
yeah, I wanna be the best, right? I was indoctrinated by the Pokemon anime ideals, so yeah. Um, I was mine to be the very best, like no one ever was, as they say. But um, anyway, so
Hmm.
yeah, so you're not gonna innovate, is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm open to. I'm not looking to do it like you are. And probably most Pokemon content creators aren't going to do it. And actually, most people that are seeking to innovate and that's what they drive to do fail. The ones that make it are obviously make the really big things, right? Like who came up with
Well,
like
I mean, I think you can if you try to innovate, you'll innovate. You can innovate badly, but you'll still innovate.
yeah, but to be
Maybe that's
success,
not really innovation,
but you might be
but
something you innovate, but probably in a way that most people aren't going to like, right? If you had 100 people that are all going to do, I'm going to come up with something brand new in YouTube. Most of the channels aren't going to go anywhere,
yes, but some will, and then
right?
everything will kind of grow from there. Um, anyway, so I want to talk about there's a tournament link I sent you.
Yep, Blue Ditto Weekly, the Blitzel
Uh,
Bounty.
yeah, so the story behind this. If you look at the details, I'll read it out.
Okay.
So YouTuber and semi-pro online tournament player, All Out Blitzel.
Hmm.
So All Out Blitzel in chat. I don't know if you're still in chat if you left. I use semi-pro, but anyway, so YouTuber All Out Blitzel has won the last two tournaments and must be taken down. So there's like a prize
Hmm.
or something. So that's why
Yep.
it's called the Blitzel Bounty. So I want you to scroll through the tournament just
Through
real quick
through
and
the
tell me if
decks,
you notice anything. Just the standings page.
the standings page, right? So nothing's jumping out to me.
Like jumping out at you.
Should it be?
I don't know. I think so, but um, you might not know where to look.
I guess which
So
column I'm supposed to be looking in, I guess, is one question, right?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's very international. I'll say that,
that's true.
but
I guess not that international. It's mostly Americans, the United
uh,
States Americans. It's mostly. I think
it's
they're
actually a lot of
probably like
Canadians too, more than average, I think. For
how many
the,
Canadian? There's like five. There's two.
I'm scrolling down. There's anyway. I mean, I guess you're talking the decks.
No, no, there's like five. So no, okay. So,
So,
this is no. It's obviously the names. All of Whistle is on here 20
oh, is
times.
it? Uh,
Yeah.
All Out
So,
Blitzel TM I see is ninth. Oh, All
yeah.
Out
So six
Blitzel's
is all of Toad
13th.
Scroll.
Oh, All
Although
Out Toad School.
I think
Okay.
13th is the actual All Out Blitzel. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. But so there's a lot of All Out Blitzels, which is funny.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's funny because it's funny and it's kind of silly. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it's funny because it's showing like a sense of community. So All
Right.
Out Blitzel is a YouTuber that I don't know if he's on my page, but he might be.
Mm-hmm.
But he also quite frankly does very straightforward content. He plays the TCG, he plays it well, and
Yes.
that's it. But then this is showing like kind of some sense of community,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of fun. So I think that's so I've talked about again this before that collaborative content is good for YouTube.
Yes.
Um, and so I think this is kind of it. This isn't like exactly collaborative content, but it kind of is. Also, why is there someone who dropped in Top Cut? I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't. Well, I mean, they went 6-1 before they dropped, right?
yeah. No, they went 6-0 and then
Oh,
dropped. I
and then
think.
6-0, and I guess they couldn't play Top Cut, right?
Yeah, that happens, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I,
I think this is interesting and funny. So I just wanted to point that out.
yeah. No,
So
it's fun, and obviously having a sense of humor, keeping things a little light, it's good all around. And you've talked about collaborations a lot, right? As something you think that the Pokemon YouTube scene needs. But I mean, it seems like it's a. I'm not sure what you mean by it. I don't know if you even know.
yeah, no, I'm not sure what I need. I've done a few, but very small things. I've done some game shows, right? That's what I've done. I've done
Right.
a tier list and then some game shows. And one, they haven't done well, but they weren't like great videos. And they were
Yeah.
when I was smaller. So I'd like to do some more, but I don't know where to look. Oh, so anyone watching as well, if you want to collaborate with me, hit me up on Discord, I guess. Um, Usually that like hit me up would imply like some like social media or some other thing,
Hmm.
but Discord or YouTube comments. But
Right.
yeah, I'd like love to, but I don't know where to do that. What to do with that. But then
Hmm.
one other type of video I want to talk about is and I think we've seen this with Stelios and then Stelios Network and
Hmm.
Burst PTCG.
Okay.
And actually, no, no. Well, I'll wait to talk about that. I want to talk at first competitive play.
Yeah.
So, I don't think. So my question is, do you think you could be a successful YouTuber and a successful competitive player?
Okay. I'm going to backtrack a minute. I'm not going to answer your question immediately. So first,
Oh,
because competitive play is a big deal. I think. Well, I mean, we want to talk about. I assume what's the role of competitive play because most people watching YouTube are not competitive players, or at least if YouTube is going to are going to get a lot of views, they're not mostly competitive players, right? Even most
yeah,
people
and I
watching,
think now, even now, it isn't, right?
right? I mean, most of Little Dark Fury's 55,000 subscribers are not competitive players, right? At least
Yeah,
not
if
significantly.
you're a competitive player, subscribe to my channel right now, and so that'll give me perfect data to say what portion of players are competitive players.
So, but the big names are driven by the competitive players, right? Which is partly how people get their name out there initially, right? Part of like Azul. Azul's got a good personality. He's obviously a very good player, and they feed off of each other, right? And so
Um, I get well the YouTube and the competitive play
correct,
feed
right?
off each
Being
other.
a major YouTuber in the Pokemon TCG is tough if you're not a competitive player, viewed as a good competitive player. I
Well,
think
I don't know. I'd say so. For a long time, I thought Andrew Mahoney was really terrible at Pokemon. I didn't know. I just assumed that he was like garbage
right.
because that's what I assumed when I first got into the Pokemon scene. I just thought all YouTubers were just bad at Pokemon, right? That's
Hmm.
kind of what I thought. Because like why'd they be good? They spend all this time on YouTube, so they're not
Right.
like playing seriously. But he's good. Andrew Mahomes a
And
good
he was a
player.
very good
He
player, right?
was quite good. And I think he still is pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, then he um but I think you're spending time on each, so they're kind of holding each other back. In my eyes, that's how I see
Yeah.
it. They do grow each other in some sense.
Hmm.
But now I want to talk about
But right, I
so the
mean, Tricky Jim, Andrew Mahone with Tricky Jim, the when first off, during I thought during COVID, which is kind of when you and I started doing Pokemon more seriously, right? That we went on to PTCGO. Then there was a limitation of things to do, and you couldn't get out and about, right? And we started doing it, and then YouTube and stuff was really growing at that point, right? And all these players then wanted to discuss Pokemon. They also wanted to make some money too. So it was a growth of these YouTube channels, but they weren't talking about IRL play. And I thought the videos, honestly, from my perspective, were better during like 2020, 2021 before IRL play came back. I thought it was more interesting to me personally.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
So that's one thing. I think it limits things when it's like what decks are good for in a tournament, what's the meta, all those typical things. It's fine, and there's an audience for it, but I don't think it's not going to become the big audience which you want to see. And obviously, Andrew Mahone, he's a very good player, or he was a great player. But the more you do content, I think, yes, you can't be as good a player, right? Tablemon, who's obviously a good content creator, a good uh, he does some announcing and I think he's done a good job with that. But probably his gameplay probably suffers from the content creation a bit, right? You can't the more split up you are, the less good you're going to be at any one thing.
Yeah. And well, they can help to some extent. I feel like they
Hmm.
definitely you can't become like an amazing competitive player or in a like top tier YouTuber
Hmm.
while you're doing the other one. And this is with the Pokemon video game scene. So there's a YouTuber, Wolfie VGC,
Yeah.
who is very good, I think. It's a
Okay.
little hard to tell. Because like with YouTube, you're gonna say you're really good, right?
Right. He's
He
obviously
says
very
this
big.
is yeah. Wait, do you know him?
I know of him. Yes.
Yeah, so he's big, and there's some other ones kind of like him who are like competitive players. But he has a million subscribers. I'm pretty sure. That let me check that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm pretty sure he has a million.
Hmm.
Yeah, he has 1.15 million. So
Yeah.
that's a lot. In I'd say in the a million's a very good number. And then but then there are people that he's worked with. So I think he's grown a lot from working with other YouTubers who aren't like his second
Mm-hmm.
most watched video is with Jaden Animations, who has
How do you spell
how many?
what's his YouTube name? Well, how do you spell it?
Wolfie VGC
I E
WOLFU no EY.
E Y V G C. I'm just gonna call
Yeah.
up on
So
Social Blade.
Jaden Animations has
Go ahead.
12 million subscribers. So she
Mm-hmm.
has more. I think he's done stuff with Alpharad and some other people. Um, and so he's grown from his own competitive play and being good at the game, but he's
Mm-hmm.
grown more because he's worked with other people, um, like who are bigger than him, who do Pokemon like the video game,
Mm-hmm.
but just casually, and
Yeah.
makes some Pokemon content. Um, I mean, Jane Animations doesn't really. I don't know how much she does teach. Like I or the video. I kind of assume that she doesn't do it, but I guess her biggest videos are Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But then like a lot of her, she's an animator. If you don't know,
Okay.
you don't know her, right?
I don't
Did you
know.
know?
No.
Do you know Alpharad?
I've heard
No, I'm looking into
I've heard the name.
from me, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so but like you can grow on your own from being a good player, but you can
Mm-hmm.
like you can't I don't know, you can't necessarily reach the top. And anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so
Although, look,
that's my
Wolfie VGC's got over 1 million subscribers, which of course is blows away any of the Pokemon TCG people. But his, but Little Dark Fury has a higher Social Blade ranking, shockingly.
well,
So,
yeah, well, he doesn't. Well, and he's held back because he plays competitively. So
so
he
it
can't
hurts
make
his
as much
content.
content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's pretty good, and so he has like good videos. I'm assuming he doesn't edit them all himself. I
Because
don't know. Maybe he does mostly, but pretty good. Um, yeah.
all right, I'm going to say two things. One, for somebody that you like edited content, and that's really what you appreciate. You like those content creators that have the videos that don't necessarily make a lot of videos, but they get a lot of views, right? Like some of those history of
Yeah.
blah blah.
So I oversimplified is the channel
Okay,
that Uncle Hustle is referencing that I've talked about, who has a lot of videos. Or no, a lot of views, not a lot of videos. They have
right,
32 videos, um over a billion views. All right, they got, they're doing pretty well.
right. So that's the type of
But
video
it takes 6 months for them to
you
make a video. So
like, but you do almost no editing yourself. So I'm just going to say,
no, I'm starting to do some editing. So I realized the next step for my YouTube channel, I need
mhm,
to make less content.
okay.
Um,
So not
which
daily
at some
videos
point,
then.
yeah, at some point I'm probably gonna stop. I don't want to just stop making daily videos if I don't believe my new content will get more views.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm just gonna like drop off views and quite frankly drop off. But I do need to. Maybe I start. I started an edited video. It's really fun.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
Okay.
I don't know if it's pretty fun. And I need video ideas as well. I'm kind of running low. Not completely, but
Okay.
um, yeah. I don't think. I mean, it's not like I can't do daily content, but I think I want to edit content more.
Okay.
No, I need to edit content more.
All right. So I have a question, but I'm gonna make a statement first. So obviously, in Pokemon, like the video game is much bigger and such, and pack openings is bigger than gameplay. But Magic the Gathering is bigger TCG wise on YouTube than Pokemon, and that's just about gameplay. And even Magic the Gathering Arena, which has its own set of content creators, they're pretty much all significantly. There's a lot of people there bigger than the Pokemon people, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
there's a channel called Uncommon Fossil. I think it's Tolarian
mhm.
Tolarian Community College. Have you heard of this channel? You might have
Yes,
heard of it.
yeah,
So, but do you know the most popular video?
yes. I saw it the other day. You
Yeah,
referencing it?
yeah,
How
it's
to
a
play
Pokemon video.
Pokemon? Yes.
So which is kind of funny, but not that funny. It's kind of sad for Pokemon fans. Um,
Right. I mean, but
that
it's a Magic channel. It's got what's the subs here? Almost a
just under a
million,
million,
just under a
9.5,
million, and right.
950K.
Like these videos are like the recent videos are all over 100,000, all of them,
Yeah,
by a good bit, basically. So, yeah. So
they're
just
not that big, but they are. Like they're hitting over a little over 100K,
right, but
which is
just
impressive. I'm not
right,
saying it's not
right,
impressive.
dwarfing anything in Pokemon, and it's gameplay though. So my point is, TCG gameplay isn't necessarily the issue, right? That's what I would say.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. I guess. Well, no, Magic, I don't know. Yeah,
Maybe the
I think
fact
Magic is.
what? Go ahead.
I don't know enough about Magic, but I think in some sense it's more collaborative. He does get
Maybe.
some big name guests. I want to say he got Post Malone. I don't know if he actually got Post Malone.
Hmm.
I know I saw like a video he had like Small Ant on. I'm sure that he has a lot of big name people that I just don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Magic community is like a type of community. The Pokemon community is not really a type of community. It's just like a broad thing. But the
Hmm.
Magic community is kind of like this, like overlaps with like the D&D community, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like a set community, kind of.
It is. I wonder if Pokemon TCG gets hurt by being kind of lost in the sea of Pokemon, right? Pokemon, obviously the video game's the big part, and obviously you have the whole anime, the characters, which is a huge thing too. Then you have the TCG, which is just a piece of it, and then obviously the collecting's the big piece. So gameplay, does it just get lost in Pokemon, and is that a problem that Pokemon is going to struggle to overcome?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I think it can. I think it will be able to.
Hmm.
As I said, I think it's my job to save Pokemon.
Hmm. So.
So I think it's. I do think someone needs to innovate content, and I think
Mhm.
someone will. I want to try. I don't know if I can, but I don't
Okay.
think it's impossible. Like, I think it. I'd like to try to come up with new content ideas.
All right. So we've been rambling on for a while here, but I want to talk about the idea of daily content because I've been thinking. Obviously, it takes time doing daily content. At times, it gets difficult. And it's in. Should I keep doing daily content is something I've been wondering, and you've been talking
Oh,
about
you're
that.
retiring. You're pulling out Tom Scott or Matt Pat. You're retiring. Oh, not again.
But should I pull back from it? And part of it is the videos I like to do is coming up with some new rogue deck. That's what I think are fun. I mean, I actually like talking about the economy side of live as well. That doesn't do that well views, but I like that. But that's easy to do, so that's not a big deal. But coming up with I
I mean, it's
mostly
not that easy to do. It takes a long time,
in the
right?
live
It's not. I wouldn't
economy.
say it's. Well, no, no. Doesn't it take a long? No, your videos. Don't you like do a lot of research and stuff?
Some, yeah. I mean, at this point, though, I have a basis to build on. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I mean, I like research. I do, and I actually I look at kind of get at kind of a resource gathering approach to the game too, which I know, which is probably an oddball way to do it. But I like resource gathering games, and I look at partly getting the cards. It's a resource gathering exercise. Um, but um, but most of my videos are deck videos, and I can't come up with like a new video every day, a new deck every day, right? It takes first I don't have the ideas all the time, and then it takes time to come up with a deck
Kind of like
that's
what Little Dark Fury does, right? Except he doesn't actually come up with new videos. Some people are like, "Yo, he's crazy innovative." I think his innovation is a little exaggerated, but he still does come up with. He does do unique videos every day,
he does.
essentially.
He does, and some of it obviously they're not brand new decks. Obviously, like I was looking through my old videos and stuff, and he looks at other channels. I imagine, AKA he stole my cast form video. I don't know what he did.
He
I
stole
got
my mustard video. He stole my Gardevoir. I played Gardevoir on my channel once. I actually don't know if I might have never played Gardevoir on my channel.
and he probably also has other people to help him develop things, right? Because I've known that from other
Maybe I
channels.
don't know.
They like I don't have a Discord server. Yeah, I could have a Discord server and people bouncing around ideas. I could say, hey, I'm working on a new Ditto box deck, which I'm always working on one of those, right? What are some things I could try out in that, right? And people would give ideas, and you can kind of help the process along. But so part of it is needing decks which look at tournaments or retread decks some. So should I scale back, not do a video a day so I can put more time into the videos I have? And is that better, right? Some of it is if I do that, am I going to stop uploading once I don't have a regular schedule? That's a concern too. Um,
Yeah,
so I don't know. I'm just kind of toying with that. But obviously, putting more time into fewer videos has something I've been considering too.
and I think it's better for your YouTube channel. I think you'll get more views across your whole channel doing
Fe-
that, from
fewer
what I've heard.
fewer videos, but better.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's twice as good, it'll get like 10. I think I saw this Mr. Beast, like it was a Mr. Beast like interview or something.
Yeah.
And it was like if you spend like twice as like if it's twice as good,
Hmm.
it'll get like a massive amount more views. But also if you spend twice as long, that doesn't mean it's twice as good either.
Right. Right. So maybe I should scale back some. I think I would need a regular schedule still. Otherwise, it's just going to get really random. Knowing myself.
No, you'll do oversimplified. You'll upload a video like every year, and you'll make millions. I don't know if he makes. I have no idea how much he makes, but
Right. Yeah, it gets weird. Like Mr. Beast, what's he get, right? Has, all these people, who knows what really is happening. Anyway, I don't think
I
you and
think
I,
Mr. Beast makes a lot of money.
he
Um,
does. He does. He spends a lot too. So I don't know where the cash flow is. So, but that's
it
not our.
says it says our oversimplified yearly earnings are between 100K and a million, which is pretty good.
It is. It's a big range, but yes, whatever. Even at the low end, you take that from YouTube now, right?
Yeah, no, I think I'd take that for anything. Not anything, but like from he makes a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, so you think so Pokemon, you want to see some something new, some innovation in YouTube with Pokemon to bring Pokemon to a bigger audience, correct?
Yeah. Oh, I mentioned Celios and Bert's PTCG, and
Yeah.
they've done some video essay style videos
Hmm.
where they like talk about a thing, but
Yeah.
like edit it. I actually haven't watched most of the videos, so I don't know if they're any good. But
A-
yeah,
And the odd thing is, you and I are well ahead of Bert's PTCG on Social Blade ranking, which is hard to understand. But anyway,
yeah, Social Blade's weird, but anyway, I think that's it for the podcast.
okay.
So we hope you enjoyed listening to it, and subscribe if you want to be part of the next generation of Pokemon or something. I don't know. Just subscribe, and like, comment, all that good stuff. But we hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, consider checking out our other episodes as well. And we're excited to see you next time.
And I do just want to add here, if you have ideas for how the Pokemon YouTube scene could grow, let us know in the comments below as well. And take care.
See ya.